Hey folks, Alex here, 95 to Freedom. In today's video, we're going to talk about what's going on in the markets. What's happening with Ultis? Ulti are still golden goose, or is it just a pipe dream? We're going to do a comparison. If we would have went back a month ago, invested into Ulti, or we would have invested in Qdte, who would have been ahead? We'll talk about what's going on in my portfolio and some other things. We're going to make it brief. We're going to make it entertaining. Let's hop into it, folks. Okay, first up. Apple announced that they're investing $100 billion into the United States. You can see Apple stock is up 5%. Today, the market in the green. S&P 500 is up 0.73. Dow's up 0.18. NASDAQ up 1.21. Russell slightly down. Gold is flat. Okay, let's talk about what really hurt us this week, which was SMCI, folks. Very poor earnings. For those of you who were holding SMCY, you probably would have felt it just like I did. Look at this. We are down 18% in one day. Let me just show you how that hurt me. I had a small position in SMCY. I thought maybe this thing would bounce back over time. I am down almost 30% on this position, 220 shares, down $1,500. So it really stung me, and I think that just proves the point about diversification. We don't want to go too heavy into anything. Same thing happened with, remember, MSTY when we had that huge pullback. Now we've had a slight recovery since, but that really stung as well. I mean, we went from, when I was holding this, I was over like $21 or something like that. It dropped down like into the $17 mark. So that really hurt a lot of people as well. 5 days, we're down 8%. 1 month, we're down 10%. I think that was my case for diversification. Glad I got out of it when I did. Okay, let's talk about Ulti, folks. Ulti, is this still a golden goose, or is it a pipe dream? I really want to believe, folks. 10 cents a week sounds magical. It seemed very flat. Let's take a look at 1 month chart. At 1 month chart, we're not looking too bad. We're only down 0.33%. Okay, so what does that mean? 0.33%. Well, I'm sorry, we're down 0.33% today. 1 month, we're down 3.03%, which isn't a lot, right? Year to date, obviously, we're down 32% because things have changed, right? And that's our dream. Our dream is, well, in March, they changed the prospectus, all this kind of stuff. We've had a massive bull run. Let's compare today, though. This is what made me a little bit cautious. We're down 0.33%, but take a look at this. I've compared it to the NASDAQ in the past. We've seen very similar correlation. NASDAQ, though, was up 1.26% today. So what happened to our Ulti? What happened to our golden goose? And this is really what I need to figure out, folks. I think one more week and we'll know for sure. Tomorrow is ex-dividend day. We close at 609. We're going to get probably 10 cents. It's going to go down by 10 cents. We're going to be under $6. Are we going to be able to recover? Next week, can we get back to this 610, 611 price? I think that's going to be the test that we'll see if we'll break the goose's neck or not. Will the goose be dinner? If you're still with me, leave that in the comments. Okay, let's see. What test do I want to do? Well, let's look at this, okay? Let's take a look at what my position is in Ulti. I have 40,000 shares. My average purchase price is $629, folks. $629. Let me just show you where I got in. I got in like mid-July, okay? I got in like at $632, and then I bought some more here around $620, so average about $629. Okay, so 40,000 shares would get me roughly $4,000 a week, right? That's what we're kind of hoping for. So I wanted to do a mental test. Let's first talk about, I'm down $8,000 on Ulti, okay? $8,000. What did I get in dividends? Well, in dividends, I got $9,868, okay? $9,868 minus, what did I say, 8,000, whatever, 40, something like that. So I made really 1,800 bucks on Ulti. Now let's do an experiment. Let's say that I had all of the 40,000 shares back 4 weeks ago. Okay, we'll just do a mental mental test. Okay, so we'll do a 1 month test. Let's say a week ago, I bought in at $6.25. Okay, so 40,000 shares times 625. Okay, that's $250,000. Now, what do we know? Well, we know that I would have received 4 payments, and those 4 payments would be roughly 10 cents a piece, and I have 40,000 shares, so I would have got 40 cents and I would have had 40,000 shares. Okay, so I would have made $16,000 in dividends. Okay, and we'll do a third calculator. Look at us, we're looking like Oracle here today. And let's say that we are down today 2.56%. Okay, so let's say 100 minus 2.56, so 97.44. Okay, so we're gonna say $250,000 times 0.9744. So we would have been down to $243,600. Okay, and we would have made $16,000. Okay, so plus $16,000. Okay, so what would we make? We would make $259,600 minus our initial investment of $250,000. So we would have been green $9,600. Okay. Now that's if we invested exactly a month ago. Now let's do another experiment. Okay. Now we're going to look at Qdte, which pays less. But Qdte actually went up in price over the past month. So if we would have bought Qdte at $35.18, and let's say we had the same amount of money invested, divided by $35.18, we would have bought 7,106 shares. Now that pays roughly 24 cents a share. So we would have made 0.96 cents, so almost $1 in the 4 payments. So what did I do here? Let's see, $250,000 divided by 35 point, what do we say, 18 cents. So we would have bought 7,106 shares, and then we would have received 0.96 was their dividend. So we would have received $6,822. And let's see what our appreciation would have been. So if we take the $250,000 times 1.0037, that's our appreciation. 250,925 plus, and we're going to add this 6,822. So we would have sat at $257,747 minus our initial investment of $250,000. So we would have made $7,747 compared to Ulty, which is $9,600. And I think, folks, that is probably the safest way that you could compare total ROI. Now, as much as I don't like to see this erosion on Ulty, and as much as the appreciation on Qdte is looking really nice, you can still see here that we would have been shy almost $2,000 if we would have invested into Qdte instead of Ulty. So far with the 1 month, comparing 1 month, the calculation is that Ulty is still ahead. Well, the other thing to consider, obviously, is the entry point, right? So 625 would have been a great entry point. Now, if we do the same comparison, and let's say we got in at this point at 641, your story would be probably very different. I think if you would have invested into Qdte on July 18th, you probably would have done better. Now, to test that theory, we can just simply use this dividend channel calculator. And let's just go to July 18th, and we'll just run a test on $10,000 invested. Now look at this. This is where it's very different. Qdt UB up 0.39% and Ulty UB down 1.52%, and that's with dividends reinvested. Without dividends reinvested, Qdt would still be ahead at 0.40%. So again, folks, this this matters a lot, is that what your entry point is. Now, if you got in, let's say around July 15th is I think when I got in, most of mine, let's see, that would have been, yep. And let's just take a look here. Would I been better off with Qdt? Well, according to this, I would still be better off in Ulty, very slightly, but still better off, by $80 or so. Okay, so that is the moral of the story. I think right now everything that's indicating with the comparisons that I'm doing is that it's still keeping up. It's still outperforming Qdte, which is another one that I really like its performance on the NASDAQ. And I think we're going to continue to give Ulty a chance here to recover. I really want to see it to hover around 615 into next week, and that's going to be some positive news. Now, obviously, tomorrow's tariffs, deadline, all that kind of stuff, we're going to see how choppy the markets are going to be around that. But that's going to be, really the big focus. And I think everything that we've seen so far with what's going on in tariffs, we would expect some kind of fluctuation. I'm just looking at what some of the news are coming out here. Trump plans 100% tariff on semiconductors, but will spare certain companies. That's interesting. So I'm wondering, what kind of tech companies will be impacted by this 100% tariffs. Okay, so yeah, that's what I got for today, folks. There's my portfolio. As you can see, I finished the day today down $1,113. Not the best day. As you can see, SMCY carried me down. Ulti is down as well. And yeah, I really want to see some recovery. Now look, Qdte, green day, Qdte, green day. And this is what I mean. Look at the disparity. Qdte is up 0.81. Ulti is down. Okay, that's all I got, folks. This is the video. If you like this, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll see you on the next video, folks. Take care.